Hey y'all, welcome to Back Porch Cooking and Reminiscing. I'm Roger, and we're glad to have y'all here with us today. So today we're going to be making a recipe out of a 1970s Rival Crock-Pot recipe book. And the recipe we're going to be making out of this cookbook is a cheese souffle casserole. So stick with us, and we're going to get to making this cheese souffle casserole in the crock pot.
Yeah. Porch boards sway in a slow rhythm. Got the screen door sighing a low hum. That old wood stove is cooking something good. Smell of bacon filling up the neighborhood.
So the first thing you're going to have is about 8 slices of bread. Now, this recipe was made using those smaller kind of tall crock pots that they had back in the 70s. Of course, our crock pots nowadays are much bigger. So you may want to add just a little bit more bread to it than the 8 slices, but that's what we're going to do today. So what we're going to do with our crock pot is we're going to take some of the non-stick spray, and we're just going to spray that crock pot down really good with this spray and get everything coated, because we don't want this to stick. I got a fog going on, so I believe we got that covered. Okay, then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our pieces of bread, and we're going to tear those pieces of bread in half and just layer them in the bottom. Now, I'm not 100% sure why we're tearing them in half, but that's what the recipe says to do. So that's what we're going to do. One thing I probably didn't say is that on your 8 slices of bread, recipe says to cut the edges off the bread, leaving only the white part of the bread. I think that's kind of wasteful, but that's what the recipe called for. Now, our next step, and as you can see, we've got that first layer of bread in there. Our next step is going to be to take some cheese, and we just grated up. We had several different kinds of cheese, so we just grated up everything we had. You can use whatever kind that you want to use, or do like we did and make a blend out of it. So we're just going to sprinkle this cheese all around on our bread. And you're going to use probably about half of your cheese on your first layer, because then you're going to come back with another layer of bread, and then you're going to end with a layer of cheese. So I believe that's about got us on the cheese. And now we're just going to do the same thing over again with the bread. We're going to break the pieces in half and just put them in there and cover up that cheese with it. And this is no exact science. It's just kind of, put it in there and go from there. All right, I got one piece of bread left, so we'll just mash it in there wherever we can get it. All right, and then we're going to come back with the rest of our cheese and just sprinkle it all over again. All right, and that's got all of our cheese in there. So for the next step, we've got 1 cup of regular whole milk, and we've got 1 cup of carnation evaporated milk. We're just going to pour those together. And then to that, we're going to add 4 eggs. Those are large eggs. And we're going to do a quarter teaspoon of salt. And then 1 tablespoon of parsley. All right. And then we're going to just mix all this together. And then we're just going to take that and we're going to pour that over top of that mixture. or of the bread and the cheese. And it just says to pour it all over the top. So that's what we're going to do with it. All right, and now that we got that done, we're going to just sprinkle a little bit of paprika all over the top. And I think that's probably just more for looks than it is anything else. But again, we're going to follow this recipe. So let's got our paprika put all over the top. And now the next thing is to get the insert inside the crock pot and get it started cooking. All right, guys, so the original recipe in that smaller crock pot called for cooking on low for 3 to 4 hours. Honestly, I don't think that it's going to take that long to cook this size of a crock pot. So we'll let you know for sure how long that it takes. But we're going to get it in the crock pot on low, and we'll be back when it's done. All right, guys, so while we're waiting on our souffle to cook in the crock pot, let's do a little history lesson on the 1970 Rival Crock-Pot Cookbook that this recipe came from. So I did some research on it and found some pretty interesting stuff. So I'm gonna read this to you just to give you that little history lesson. So it says that the cheese souffle, founded in 1970 slow cooker circles, is a bit of a historical misnomer. So while the traditional French souffle relies on the stiffly beaten egg whites for lift, the crock-pot souffle of the 1970s was actually a strata or a savory bread pudding. So really isn't a souffle. It became a staple in the slow cooker community during that era because it fit perfectly into the dump and go convenience marketing that Rival used to sell appliances. So why is it called a souffle but isn't one? In the 1970 recipe booklets, they often use the word souffle loosely to make it simple, affordable. A hearty casserole style meal sounds more elegant and sophisticated. The reality, rather than an airy, delicate egg white foam, this dish uses cube bread as a structural base to hold a mixture of milk, eggs, and cheese. It's essentially a savory French toast bake or a breakfast strata. And now strata, that's going to be something like a quiche or a bread pudding or something similar to that. The appeal of it, it was a miracle dish for the 70s home cook. It required no stovetop prep, used inexpensive pantry staples, bread, egg, milk, and cheese, and could be left to cook on low while you were away. So there's several different variations of it, but this is the one that was actually in that 1970s cookbook. So that was just a little history on it, and come to find out, it's really not even a souffle. So our souffle has cooked. It cooked for about an hour and a half in this crock pot. As I said, I didn't think it would take as long to cook. It's what the recipe book says, but about an hour and a half, and it's done now. So it looks pretty good, and it smells really good too. So I think we need to cut us a piece and give it a try. So there's our souffle piece that I've cut out of the crock pot. And I have to say, guys, it's really kind of fluffy and very soft, and but it is completely cooked. And as I said, it smells really good. So we're gonna give it a try and see how it tastes. Now, I'm not really one that's much for the quiches and bread pudding and things like that. But again, this does smell really good. So let's see how it tastes. All righty, so got my piece here, and I'm gonna give it a try and just see what I think. Again, smells delicious. Not really that bad. Does have a really strong egg taste to it. You do get the little bit of the cheese taste that where we put the different cheeses in it. Um, it's very soft and moist. It's really kind of like scrambled eggs, but again, pretty good. You know what I think would be really good is to make this and maybe crumble some sausage up in it or ham or bacon. I think that would make it really good. I don't think I've ever had a souffle before, so I don't really know what they're like. But I'd eat this for a breakfast item. You can actually taste the bread in there too. Um, Especially that second bite I got, I could really taste the bread. If you like things like this, I think you'd probably enjoy this. For me personally, I think it would be better put some meat in there. I'm a meat type of guy. But anyway, if you like stuff like this, I hope you'll check it out, give it a try, make it for your family, share it with your friends. Remember, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already, and click on that bell so you get notifications. But there's something called a hype. And when you go to the video, if you go to the description, there's a button there that says hype. If y'all go on there and click on that hype button, it doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost you anything at all. It's just to help us and help the channel. But it will help to promote the channel to more people. I didn't know about it. There's probably a lot of you guys that don't know about it. But go on there, click on that hype button for me. Get us some more recognition. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all being here. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time.